The Public Procurement Regulatory Authority is tonight scrutinizing several direct procurement tenders of personal protective equipment awarded by the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency as a response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The chair, Advocate Andrew Musangi, is also concerned that state agencies are also not complying with the Executive Order number 2 of 2018, which required that they upload and publicize all tendering details through various public portals, including tenders.go.ke. Waihiga Maura reports.
The Kenya Medical Supply Authority, KEMSA, has been in the spotlight recently over a controversial 7.7 billion Kenya shillings tender for the emergency procurement of COVID-19 personal protective equipment. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission was concerned that the tender was hurriedly awarded to a company known as Kilig Limited, using direct procurement under the cover of emergency needs, despite the fact that the company was given 3 months to supply as opposed to 1 month, and their payment exceeded KEMSA's budget by 3 billion Kenya shillings.
Some reports that are being reported in the media that people are taking advantage of COVID-19 to misuse money meant for COVID. And because I know you have the capacity to crack your whip, please crack your whip so that that money is used for the intended purpose.
We continue to urge prudence in the acquisition of these PPEs and indeed all health commodities to ensure that we deliver value to our people. And I wanted to make those remarks because obviously there has been press reports about the prices that were there before for PPEs, the prices that were there for face masks, but I would like to say that anybody doing a little research will find that indeed was the situation across the world at that time.
But according to the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, a state of emergency does not give procuring bodies the license to engage in illogical procurement.
We are currently auditing several direct procurements in a state agency that has been involved in COVID-19 procurements. So if you show up with wildly overpriced procurements, you are still liable as the accounting officer for proceeding with an unreasonable procurement.
Even as South Africa, Zimbabwe, and other countries grapple with similar corruption revelations around the direct procurement of personal protective equipment, the PPRA chair believes Kenya needs to tighten the law to avoid future abuse of procurement procedures.
You must reach out to the public and say, the ministry or KEMSA needs to urgently procure X, Y, Z. Qualified suppliers are asked to immediately submit their bids.
2 years ago, President Uhuru Kenyatta signed into law Executive Order number 2 of 2018, which in summary states that, and I quote, all public procuring entities are required to maintain and continuously update and publicize complete information of all tenders awarded, including but not limited to 1. Full particulars of the awarded bidder, 2. Specifications of goods and services, 3. Technical and financial capacity of the awarded bidder, and 4. Current market price of the specific goods, works or service, end quote. But 2 years later, in financial year 2019-2020, only 60 billion Kenya shillings worth of tenders have been publicized on the portal, in a financial year that boasted of a budget of almost 3 trillion Kenya shillings.
We have a lot of procuring entities that have failed to adhere to the directive of the president.
Now, there could have been a loophole in that executive order because it did not come with measures that can hold procuring entities accountable for violation of the order.
Meanwhile, Transparency International Kenya is demanding that the government fully discloses all budgets, allocations, disbursements and expenditure of COVID-19 funds and aid.
The law requires companies to be in place for at least 3 years to be able to get a tender award, unless it's under the Access to Government Procurement Opportunities, that's AGPO, which is set aside for youth and women And even under AGPO, it's not easy to get a tender after just a few months of existence.
The hurried KEMSA tender in question was for the procurement of 450,000 kits, each valued at 9,000 Kenya shillings, comprising of goggles, masks, boots, and gloves. Wahiga Mwaura, Citizen TV.